Biologists have just wrapped up the annual summer duck survey, and the numbers are down from last year. Joining us this morning is biologist Doug Lear with the North Dakota Game and Fish Department, bearer of bad news. Thanks for doing that. What are we talking about for bad numbers?
Actually down a little under 10%, about 8%. So, I mean, it's not a significant drop, but nonetheless, I mean, if you open up your bank account in the morning, you see you're down by 8%, you go, it's not the direction that we'd like to be going. So I don't think it's a real big shock or a surprise, but the numbers don't lie. The numbers don't lie. That total duck numbers for our summer brood, this is counting the little ducklings that have hatched out and they're swimming around down there, down totally 8% from last year. If you look at some of the different species, like the mallard numbers, those are down 13%. The gadwall numbers down just under 5%. And I think probably one of the biggest numbers to really draw out from this is we do a wetland index each year as we do this. We've been doing this for about 60 years, and that number is down almost 40%, Lisa.
And what are we saying is probably the reason behind this? Could it be the dry conditions?
I think you're absolutely right. Is when it comes down to waterfowl and duck production, a lot of it comes down to grassland habitat, but then probably the big factor in the equation is what do you have for precipitation, moisture, and wetlands that are out there. And we had some snow in central North Dakota, record-breaking snow in central North Dakota in the early part of last winter, but we got to this spring and we didn't get that spring precipitation, so there just wasn't as much water out there, and then it continued on into the summer. So you mentioned the word drought, and it's not just about farming and agriculture, it's also about the waterfowl and the duck production, Lisa.
Any good news that you did see?
Not really. And again, across the board, good news, not really. One species, the shovelers, and they're not a real popular, but the shoveler numbers were up from last year. So if you're looking for some different options, the shoveler numbers are up there. Nobody's going to ever pick shovelers over mallards by any stretch of the imagination. But again, I guess if you are looking for a glimmer of hope, the spoonbill, the shoveler numbers are up from last year, Lisa.
And we could see numbers. It's kind of up and down from year to year.
It is. We get the precipitation now, the moisture now, and that carries through the winter and into next spring. We could be talking a whole different ballgame, Lisa.
Hopefully. We'll cross our fingers. Doug Lear, thanks for coming in today.
You're welcome.